The Supreme Court has taken on a college admissions discrimination case. Good, it's about time. Amid this hearing time, Jennifer Lee, a sociology professor at Columbia University, has had published in the New York Times a remarkable piece, remarkable because it goes against the standard, the the findings that colleges have indeed discriminated in their admissions policies against Asian Americans, to some extent white Americans too, but it's very acute among Asian Americans. Well, against all evidence that Asian American students are punished by admissions committees, here's Ms. Lee's argument that they're actually helped along the way, that in middle school and high school, Asian American students have teachers who, quote, assume they are smart, hardworking, high-achieving, and morally deserving, which can boost the grades of academically mediocre Asian American students. Now, I've never heard of a teacher who evaluates whether some student is morally deserving when it comes time to putting a grade on a paper or a problem set. The bigger part of what she says, assuming that they're smart and because of it, boosting their grades, if any teachers have that mindset at all, I suspect it goes the opposite way, that, oh, this kid is underperforming, so I'm going to give this kid a lower grade because I expected his diligence and his family background should have given him A level, and though this is A minus, I'm going to call it a B. I do know of the following anti-Asian bias, and Ms. Lee does not refer to this. The anti-Asian and anti-white bias of many black teachers who are happy to see and punish some underperformance by an Asian American. It elevates, by relativity, the African Americans and Latino Americans that might be in her classroom. I've encountered this peripherally once and directly a second time. I've read about it in other places. Ms. Lee does not even speak about that. So where does the Supreme Court case stand? I'll make a prediction. I think it's going to be a split decision where the justices rule against University of North Carolina because it is a public institution and for Harvard because it is largely private. Private, although helped by incredibly high numbers of government grants. But because of the public aspect, I think USC ends up being the turning of the Bakke decision, which was 1979, also with a public university, University of California at Davis. Will Harvard, either way, be able to keep the huge diversity that it seeks and the integrity of admissions that it claims? Probably, but it could do it much more easily and not be violating the ire, if not the Supreme Court rulings, by simply taking the top 1% in every school. Because there are many districts that are mostly black where the top achievers are black. Many districts that are mostly Latino, top achievers are Latino. So when they cull the top 1% across the country, they'll end up with diversity and have integrity. Now, it will still be an admission of students in weaker schools, meaning high schools, over stronger schools. And the Ivy Leagues don't want to claim that. They're going to have a hard time doing that. Harvard lies. Its lawyers lie, its admissions officers lie about what they really are doing. They're promoting diversity by using standards that they wipe out when it comes to an Asian applicant compared to a black or Latino applicant, okay? Those standards then go away in favor of their extra criteria. So what's a student to do? I mean, there are many students this fall and early winter who are going to be applying and getting accepted to Harvard, UNC, many other elite universities. I don't consider UNC elite. No state school really is. Harvard and the rest of the Ivy Leagues, many other private schools, truly, they are elite. And the worst education right now is liberal arts majors in elite schools. Students who would like the wisdom of good teachers and the practicality of good majors should avoid the liberal arts track at elite universities. Now, Harvard still has a powerful degree. You get through there despite the wokeness of your classmates, the silliness of many of the professors. You're going to end up with a degree that for a generation anyway is going to still carry a lot of weight in employment and social status. I fear for somebody 10 or more years from now embarking at an elite university. At that point, I think the status will have rubbed off. The beauties of practical education will be showing themselves even more than they do now. And students will, on their own, probably avoid Harvard, even with its 400-year history. I'm Mark Stewart. Thanks for listening.